Here are two nearly identical DAX UDFs, but they produce two wildly different results. Do you see why? Well, it's this keyword right here. Hi, my name's Ned, and I work in business intelligence. And today we're going to be going down, admittedly, a bit of a rabbit hole. We're going to be talking about what the parameter mode of a parameter when passed to a DAX user-defined function actually does. And I promise you, it does a lot more than you're actually thinking, and it's actually pretty neat. But first, before we dive all into that, if you could do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, it would mean a lot. All right, let's jump into the computer. Okay, so here we are in Microsoft Power BI, and we have two tables. We have a fact orders table, and then we have a date dimension table, and they have a pretty standard one-to-many relationship based off of date ID and order date ID. Now, before we jump into DAX, let's take a look at our source data, which in this case is in Microsoft Databricks. Now, admittedly, this might not be the most efficient query, but as you can see, it's taking account of the total number of order IDs and partitioning it via two window functions, one that's partitioned by both year and month, and one that's partitioned just by year. And here we can see that we have the same exact tables that we had in our data model. So we had a fact order and then a dim date. So let's go ahead and let's run this so we can look at our data. And here we are. Here's our data. And as you can see, this table contains data from 2022 and then approximately 4 months. Now, for March, there are 158 rows. But total in the table, there's 120,378 rows. Now remember these two numbers because they're going to be important a little later on in the video. Now for the purposes of this demo, we're going to create a really simple DAX UDF. What we're going to do is we're going to create a DAX UDF that takes in a DAX expression that returns a number and then calculates that DAX expression for the month of March. And can you guess what the DAX expression that we're going to pass in? Well, it's going to be a count of rows. So as you can see from the data, if the DAX UDF is working correctly and the calculate statement is being applied, the UDF should return 158 rows because that's how many rows are in the fact table for the month of March. Okay, so here we are back in Microsoft Power BI, and we have a simple UDF that I've written. Now this UDF is called march.val, and it takes an integer as a parameter, and this integer can be produced by a DAX expression, and then it wraps that parameter in a calculate statement that's saying, hey, date dim month has to equal 3. So let's go ahead and let's use this UDF. If we go up here into report view in a measure. So here is a measure called measure. And as you can see, we're passing it a distinct count of the fact table order ID. And it's returning 120,000. Why is that? Well, that is because by default, DAX UDFs use what's called eager evaluation, which means any kind of DAX statement that you pass it is first evaluated, and then the result of that DAX expression is passed to the UDF. So taking a look at Microsoft's documentation, what you'll see is that parameters in DAX UDFs can essentially take 3 hints: a type, a subtype, and then a parameter mode. And you don't have to provide any of these hints at all. But the type allows you to essentially specify what type of parameter the UDF is going to take. The subtype is the scalar data type. And then the parameter mode, which is val by default, can also be set to expression. So what does this do? Well, if we go back into Microsoft Power BI and we go back into our Tyndall view, I have that exact same UDF, only I've changed the name of the UDF to be march.expression, and I've added on that optional expression parameter mode hint. So let's go into our measure right here, and let's update it. So instead of march.val, it's using march.expression. And now let's run it. And as you can see, we now get 158 rows, which is what we had in Databricks. Now this is because adding that parameter mode hint into that DAX UDF changed the way that the UDF behaves. It no longer uses eager evaluation, where it first evaluates an expression passed to it, then passes the result of that expression to the UDF. And it changes it so it uses what's called lazy evaluation. So it passes the entire DAX expression and then evaluates that expression within the context of the logic that's stored in the UDF. So that parameter mode made it so that the calculate statement, instead of being passed a number, was being passed a DAX expression. Isn't that cool? Well, I hope you learned something this video. And if you did, again, consider giving it a thumbs up and hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.